We wouldn't have it any other way for Week 18.
The Cardinals knock off the Eagles. Jonathan Gannon returned to Philly, pulls off a massive upset.
Giddy up for a weird and wacky Week 18, folks. How about we dive into our Week 18 edition of the 2023 NFL Power Rankings? Number 32, Carolina Panthers. Last time's ranking, 32. The Panthers clinched football's worst record with Sunday's humiliating 26-0 blowout loss against the Trevor Lawrence-less Jacksonville Jaguars. So with that, congrats to the Chicago Bears on locking down the first overall pick. Amid another miserable year in Carolina, here's where it gets fun. They can spoil the Tampa Bay Buccaneers' playoff hopes next week with a win at home to close out the year. Number 31, Washington Commanders. Last time's ranking, 31. What? Did you really think that the Commanders would beat the NFC's top seed? Come on, of course you didn't. The good news? One more Washington loss to Dallas next week clinches the number 2 pick. Number 30, New England Patriots. Last time's ranking, 29. The Patriots put up quite the fight against the red-hot Buffalo Bills, but Bailey Zappe's 3 interceptions doomed Bill Belichick's squad in a 27-21 loss. Good news, the loss keeps New England in top 3 pick territory. Number 29, Los Angeles Chargers. Last time's ranking, 28. As expected, the Justin Herbert-less Bolts didn't put up much of a fight on offense in Sunday's 16-9 road loss to the Broncos. And you know, honestly, that's fine. This has been an awfully flawed team that needs the highest pick possible here. Number 28, Tennessee Titans. Last time's ranking, 27. The Titans were punchless in their 26-3 blowout loss to the Texans, dropping them to 5-11 on the year. The loss also clinches the Titans' worst record since the 2015 group that went 3-13. Number 27, New York Giants. Last time's ranking, 26. 2023 will go down as a bit of a wasted season for Big Blue, but do keep in mind that 4 Giants losses thus far have been by a single possession. Not too bad given all the injuries that they've suffered. Number 26, New York Jets. Last time's ranking, 25. Their 37-20 blowout loss in Cleveland was just another reminder that Jets fans are sick of hearing. The season cannot end soon enough. On the bright side, a top 10 pick awaits Gangrene. Number 25, Arizona Cardinals. Last time's ranking, 30. So starting off with the glasses half empty side, the Cardinals might have cost themselves a top 3 pick with their stunning road win over the Eagles. But hey, on the glasses half full side, Jonathan Gannon and Kyler Murray showed everybody what this team can do when all things are actually clicking. Number 24, Minnesota Vikings. Last time's ranking, 23. It's not mathematically over, but the Vikings' ugly home loss to Green Bay on primetime essentially put their playoff hopes to sleep. But how much can you really blame a team that was using its 4th starting QB this season? Number 23, Atlanta Falcons. Last time's ranking, 20. Sunday's road loss to Chicago clinched the Falcons' 6th straight losing season. If Arthur Smith is to get another year as head coach, the Falcons ought to give him a competent QB to work with. I don't know, maybe someone like Russell Wilson. Number 22, Las Vegas Raiders. Last time's ranking, 18. The Raiders' 23-20 road loss to the Colts officially eliminated them from postseason contention. Vegas will now close out on Sunday against a rival Broncos squad that was also eliminated from playoff contention. Number 21, Chicago Bears. Last time's ranking, 24. They left it a little too late, but the Bears sure look like a playoff-ready team for 2024. Sunday's demolishing of the Falcons marked Chicago's 4th victory in their last 5 contests, a remarkable turnaround after starting out 0-4. In related news, the Panthers' loss clinched the first overall pick for the Bears. Number 20, Denver Broncos. Last time's ranking, 21. The biggest story in Mile High City wasn't even the Broncos' win over the Bolts, but rather the decision to bench Russell Wilson because of their issues with the injury guarantees in his contract. That overshadowed what has been a stellar bounce-back season for Wilson.
We beat the Chiefs. They came up to me during the bye week, and they told me that if I didn't change my contract, my injury guarantee, that I'd be benched for the rest of the year.
Number 19, Cincinnati Bengals. Last time's ranking, 13. Cincy's loss to KC eliminated them from playoff contention. Now, it's obviously nothing to smile about, but we remain utterly impressed that they are finishing no worse than 8-9. Number 18, New Orleans Saints. Last time's ranking, 22. Derek Carr played hero for the Saints and led them to a rather surprising season-saving 23-13 road win over the Bucs. Their slim NFC South Division hopes are still alive, but the Saints can also win a wildcard berth with the W over Atlanta and Seattle and Green Bay losses. Number 17, Green Bay Packers. Last time's ranking, 19. The Packs' roller coaster of the season continued with a blowout win over the Vikings on prime time to keep their playoff hopes alive. And now it's simple. Beat the Bears at home home, and the Packers are in the playoffs. Number 16, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Last time's ranking, 12. That was quite the letdown for the Bucs. Chance to clinch the division and relax in Week 18? No thanks, apparently. Anywho, the Bucs just need a win over football's worst team, the Panthers, to finally lock down the division. Number 15. Seattle Seahawks. Last time's ranking, 11. The Seahawks kept it close with the equally desperate Steelers on Sunday, but Pittsburgh's top players just made a few more plays in a 30-23 victory. Just like last year, Seattle now needs a win and a Packers loss in Week 18 to snag a wildcard berth. Number 14, Jacksonville Jaguars. Last time's ranking, 17. No Trevor Lawrence? Hey, no problem. All the Jaguars need to do now is win on the road against essentially a checked-out Tennessee team to lock up a second straight division crown. Number 13, Houston Texans. Last time's ranking, 16. Like seemingly half the league, Houston kept its playoff hopes alive with a much-needed win, and an easy one at that against Tennessee. So now, it's this simple. Win in Indianapolis on Saturday, and the Texans end a 4-year playoff drought. Number 12, Indianapolis Colts. Last time's ranking, 15. Colts kept the magic alive with a close home win against the resilient Raiders. And that sets up the winner-go-home scenario with the Texans on Saturday. Regardless of what happens, the fact that we're talking about at minimum a 9-win team in year 1 of a drastic rebuild is truly admirable. Number 11, Pittsburgh Steelers. Last time's ranking, 14. Mason Rudolph mania continued in Emerald City, giving the Steelers a much-needed W over Seattle. With the win, the Steelers also ensured their 20th straight non-losing season. Hey, job well done by Mike Tomlin. Again. Pittsburgh still needs some help to get in. I mean, they need to beat Baltimore for starters, and then they need Buffalo or Jacksonville to lose, or for the Colts and Texans to tie. Number 10, Philadelphia Eagles. Last time's ranking, 7. Are the Eagles okay or what? They just lost at home to the Arizona Cardinals and likely cost themselves the NFC East Division crown. Given the mind-boggling issues on both sides of the ball, nobody should be surprised if they're one and done. Number 9, Los Angeles Rams. Last time's ranking, 10. The Rams barely held on for a close 1-point win over the Giants to improve to 9-7. But that's not all. Seattle's loss to Pittsburgh clinched a playoff berth for the Rams. What an incredible 1-year turnaround after a wasted 2022 season. Number 8, Kansas City Chiefs. Last time's ranking, 9. 8 straight division titles now for the Chiefs, who need to find a way to get back to championship football with the playoffs right around the corner. Week 18 against the Chargers is a get-right game, if they decide to play their starters. Number 7, Dallas Cowboys. Last time's ranking, 8. Thanks to yet another officiating controversy involving the Lions, the Cowboys barely snuck away with a 1-point victory to keep their NFC East Division hopes intact. With the Eagles losing at home to Arizona, Dallas now just needs a victory to win the NFC East and clinch the number 2 seed. Number 6, Detroit Lions. Last time's ranking, 3. Did the Lions get screwed by a questionable officiating call? Without a doubt. But did they also give it away? Yes, they had 3 attempts to get the 2-point conversion right. Or, Dan Campbell could have just played it for overtime. But hey, maybe Saturday's loss will remind Campbell that he doesn't need to be overly aggressive on every single play call. Number 5, Buffalo Bills. Last time's ranking, 6. The Bills outlasted the Patriots, then watched Miami get crushed by Baltimore to keep their AFC East hopes alive. Incredible stuff, given where the Bills were just 5 weeks ago. Number 4, Miami Dolphins. Last time's ranking, 4. Hey, not gonna knock on Miami too much for losing in blowout fashion to Baltimore. Jalen Waddle and Raheem Mostert were inactive, and they sadly lost Bradley Chubb in the game with a torn ACL that ended his promising season. Miami still controls its own destiny for the AFC East. Beat Buffalo, and they get a home playoff game for the first time since 2008. Number 3, Cleveland Browns. Last time's ranking, 5. Just as, nobody predicted, Joe Flacco suddenly 4-1 as the Browns' starting QB. Oh, and he clinched the Browns' second 11-win season in 4 years. All right, comeback player of the year honors, anyone? Number 2, San Francisco 49ers. Last time's ranking, 2. Following their humiliating primetime loss to the Ravens, the 49ers got back to business and made easy work of the Commanders. The NFC runs through San Fran, a team who, by the way, hasn't lost a home game to a conference rival since Week 9 of the 2021 season 26 months ago. Number 1, Baltimore Ravens. Last time's ranking 1. The Ravens further cemented themselves as the #1 team by beating up on, beating up Miami team by a final score of 56-19. The AFC runs through Baltimore, meaning the Ravens just need 2 home victories to reach their first Super Bowl in 11 years. But what changes would you make to our Week 18 power rankings? Let us know in the comment section below. If you like this video and learned a thing or two, clicking the like button helps out a ton. And hey, we appreciate it. If this is your first time coming around to TPS though, subscribing is a great idea because we put out videos like this every single day. But as always, thanks for watching and we'll see you guys next time.